Next to the chronically ill workers, there are several other parties who hold a stake in their successful and early return to work. These are employers and their organizations, trade unions, employment services and agencies, as well as patient organizations. This presentation of research results focuses on the social partners in 6 EU member states: Belgium, Estonia, Ireland, Italy, Romania and Slovakia. What is the role of trade unions and employers' organizations in facilitating return to work after a chronic disease? And how do workers and managers look at the support they get? This research shows that comprehensive policies to support return to work for workers with chronic diseases are lacking in most countries. Only Belgium is an exception. Based on additional desk research, France, the Netherlands and the United Kingdom are considered the best in Europe regarding return to work policies. Also, the concrete involvement of employers and trade unions differs per country. Where there are no return to work policies for the chronically ill, disability legislation is often turned to for support. In 6 countries studied in depth, trade unions and employers' organizations regard their involvement in policy design as sufficient, even if they are not regularly consulted. But in the implementation of return to work policies they could do more, they think. Following the Belgian example, they could cooperate more and intervene earlier to help workers with a return to work wish. There are other positive signs. Researchers found among social partners in Ireland willingness to shape a comprehensive employment strategy. In Italy, the fragmented return to work legislation is compensated for, to a certain extent, by positive action of trade unions and employers at the regional, company and workplace levels. This commitment often results in provisions for workers with a chronic disease in collective agreements. In Estonia and Slovakia, employers make their support of the chronically ill part of efforts to increase the diversity of the workforce. In Romania, where trade unions are found to be weak, they do find ways, often informal, to support workers and raise their awareness of work reintegration after or with a chronic disease. The overall picture shows that social partners do strive for better coordination and mutual cooperation in return to work issues. Their preferred choices differ, however. Trade unions tend to see collective bargaining as the best way to a return to work policy. Employers' organizations prefer lobbying public institutions instead. Return to work often takes place in an informal way. Managers hear of the employee's wish to return to work directly. This is common practice, also in larger companies. The study shows no country-specific trends amongst managers in their treatment of workers with a chronic disease, neither during their leave of absence nor as they return to work. A greater role of unions seems to be warranted. When looking at workers' satisfaction with how their return to work went, union members are a bit more satisfied with their reintegration than non-union members. Generally speaking, social partners in European countries could do more to support employees' return to work, in national policy making and in supporting reintegration at the workplace. Their potential for facilitating return to work on behalf of the chronically ill is anything but exhausted. The present research also shows that both trade unions and employers' organizations are willing to participate more in return to work policies. It is therefore opportune to make this happen.